Hello everyone, thank you so much for clicking on this video. 5,000 subscribers, we have made it. I hope you guys are ready for this Q&A like I mentioned earlier. Sorry, my voice is gone and I'm really sick. There's nothing for me to do since I'm resting and watching shows all day, which ironically is more boring than taking care of business. So I decided to do it now since there's nothing for me to do. There has been nothing for me to do the past few days and it's boring. So I decided to answer the very few questions that I have been given, and I hope you guys are ready. First set of questions comes from David Abian, my single Patreon supporter so far. Thank you so much, bro, first off, for supporting me after all this time. Most theaters and concert halls can't accommodate so many subscribers. Sorry, I'm crouching down like this because there's like too much brightness when I look at it from this perspective. Congrats. Do you feel that you can speak to a dark circle of the camera as naturally as you would speak to a person? And when you started your channel, in general, how has YouTube affected your self-confidence? I feel like talking to a camera has made it easier for me to speak to other people, but in general, I think it gets in the way of allowing other people to speak their mind as well. It doesn't keep me from having a normal conversation, but it shuts down my active listening, I feel sometimes, because unless I'm dealing with a very close one of mine, I'm not gonna listen very easily. Sometimes I don't know how to listen because of this dark circle that you mentioned, because there's no one on the receiving end talking back to me unless it's in the comment section. Since I started my channel, I definitely think that it has helped me a lot, mainly because you start somewhere when you first start and it's gonna be really bad, but the more you do it, the better you become, and that's just the truth with anything. I feel like it has helped me to be myself online more confidently than I used to. I don't think I've ever had a confidence issue, but I have had insecurity issues that just don't go away, and those insecurity issues just get less and less obvious as time goes on, and so that's the main improvement I'd like to say I had. That's the main thing that has helped me to improve since starting my YouTube channel. In general, how has YouTube affected my self-confidence? I would say it has affected me in the fact that I can confidently go somewhere to let out my creative work and just be myself as a musician. That is the main way it has affected my self-confidence, in a good way though. It's not like it's brought me down. Next question. What thing would you change about YouTube and what things would you not? If there's one thing I would change, it's people's moral convictions when they decide, for example, and this is the only example that really makes me want to do this, when they decide to put a strike on a channel for posting content that involves the truth that they don't want people to know about. I hate when that happens, and I hate that they have the power to take down someone who is trying to expose the truth. If there's truth that needs to be said, if someone's trying to shut them down for it, that is something I hate to my core. I will never approve of that. I will hate it till the day I die. The other things I would not change, I'd like to say the only things I wouldn't change are anything else, because if people just stuck to their moral convictions, if they had high moral convictions like I do, then people wouldn't be doing any of this evil stuff in the world. Next question. What things would you change about yourself and what things would you not change? As far as something that I can actually change about myself, too sick right now to think of any, but if you put a gun on my head and were like, pick something or I'll shoot you, I would say my emotional blindness. Sometimes I'm so sensitive that it's hard for me not to take things personally. For example, whenever someone tries to suggest against me doing something, I'm just like, why are you hurting me? because I not only sense that they're just like, that's not a good idea, but I also sense they feel disgusted by the idea, and I associate that emotion with their viewpoint of me. That is a really bad habit of mine. I get down to the emotional context of something, and I take on that to heart, and I wish I didn't have to do that so naturally sometimes, because it helps more when I'm able to naturally sometimes face the matter of facts instead of the matters of feelings. Combine that with selfishness, and you got someone who leads their life through their emotions and their feelings. And that is not a good way to live. At least not outside of being a mother for your children. Because emotions and feelings can drive us to do some great or awful things. But if you let your emotions drive your actions, you're not really, you're basically getting in your own way by not facing the facts. That's something I feel like I struggle with a lot. And then what things would I not change? I would say I don't want to change the way I think. I don't think people say like, I'm so sorry, when I say that I have autism and ADHD in the same brain. But I do feel like people think that sometimes. And I wouldn't change it for the world because, one, I got lucky in getting a super duper early diagnosis since like age 4 or 5, and I've been on medication since then. So I've had a somewhat clear mind my entire life. Two, the tendencies that have to do with ADHD and autism, or at least my Asperger's syndrome, which is a form of autism, they help me to dive into stuff like this, stuff that I'm interested in, some stuff that I have obsessive interest with. And so it helps drive me towards something career-wise that I might want. And that's something I wouldn't give up for the world. I'm incredibly grateful, and it's the main reason why I'm able to do what I do on this channel or otherwise. Next question. The Earth is going to be destroyed and there is only room in the music rocket to save 3 artists. Which 3 artists will you choose? I'd like to say that I choose Dimash Kudaibergen. He's my favorite singer ever. And then Tara Simon, she's my favorite vocal coach ever. And then I choose myself because I can't really think of 3, and who wouldn't want to save themselves if the Earth is going to be destroyed? Next set of questions comes from James Nunez, who wants to be a supporter of Patreon, but he doesn't have money yet, so I'm just being like, okay, how did you get started? I started YouTube at first with a very cringeworthy channel name and channel called NerdX, and I'm so glad that it's deleted forever. I thought it would be a decent idea to watch my brother play video games and film and record stuff like that, but after a year, relatively so, of posting videos on that channel, I decided to start a YouTube channel about music. And because I didn't have anything else to offer on the online world, I started making screen recordings of arrangements of piano pieces I liked, and this was way before I started singing. I was still in high school when I started posting those. Yeah, I think it was like March of 2018. I was posting arrangement, screen recording after arrangement, screen recording after arrangement, screen recording after arrangement, screen recording, because there really wasn't anything else I could post. And then I got the idea to record orchestra performances, then gradually transitioned into piano playing. Then I transitioned into singing, making covers, which you guys can't see anymore because I'm going to recover all of those covers because those were just practice ones, so that I could get content out there, and all those covers weren't really all that great anyways, so I'm just going to recover them next. After that, I started posting reaction videos, and here we are. Those reaction videos have helped me grow the most, and I'm forever grateful about that. Definitely a thing I would do, considering I wound up immersing myself into what it takes to be a master singer. The only difference is I still gotta apply everything that I've learned. Next question, what part of your voice are you wanting to improve the most? I got a few things that I want to improve. First off, my mixed voice. No, not my mixed voice, my head voice, which is different from falsetto. Falsetto sounds like, and then head voice sounds like this. Let me just explain this as quickly and efficiently and clearly as I possibly can. Our voice has two separate muscle groups. First off, the thyroarytenoid. Second, the cricothyroid. Thyroarytenoid means strength and thick vocal fold closure, which basically means the chest belting and stuff along those lines, just like really strong, really robust sound to the voice. The cricothyroid involves flexibility and basically the pure opposite of that, to where it's more like breathy, more sweet, more innocent. It's all about just having a lighter, brighter sound so that you can be vocally flexible. Head voice is cricothyroid dominant, so there's cricothyroid and still a little bit of thyroarytenoid in that blend, whereas falsetto is just cricothyroid only. The main difference though is that head voice for men is lighter, yes, but it's also got firm vocal cord closure. Female head voice, you don't have firm vocal cord closure. Other than head voice, I also have to improve my acting, and then I also have to improve my whistle voice, which is basically the Mariah Carey high notes. Those are a few sounds of what I'm talking about with whistle, and I put my mouth like that over the pillow because, one, I needed to make space for the sound so that the sound could come out at all freely. Two, I used the pillow so that no one could wake up, because my niece and my sister-in-law are asleep right now. But that's just a general idea of what I'm talking about whistle voice. Basically, that's another part of my voice I'm trying to improve on. But above all three of them, I feel like the thing I need to improve on the most is head voice, because it will allow me to belt high notes strain-free, and it will also allow me to connect to all the notes that tenors have more fluidly. I want to be more fluid and fluent in that part of my voice the most. So yeah. Next question, did you ever see yourself getting to 5,000 subscribers? Yes, I did, ironically, and it's not out of pride. I'm so incredibly focused on getting what I want most of the time that I'm just like, yeah, these are things required to get what I want. So of course I'm expecting it. Here's what I mean. This entire time I've been trying to make a living off of singing, more specifically singing stuff I want and getting into my online creative endeavors, as well as just generally making singing one of my biggest passions right now, lifelong passions now, a career. And one of the things I expected would be to have a substantial following on YouTube for that to happen. Basically, yes, I saw myself getting to that point because I knew that it related to and was required for me to make an online singing presence a career. Last question he has, are you happy, healthy, and doing okay? Personal, don't have to answer if you don't want to. Thank you for the reminder. I would have said no to this question if I didn't want to answer anyways. Happy, healthy, and doing okay. Yes, not exactly healthy right now because I'm filming this while sick, but in general I am happy. I've been worse before, no doubt, and I feel like I'm doing okay. Yeah, I'm just kind of overwhelmed at how vague and non-specific that question is, because it's just like, in what sense though? That's how I think. So, in general, I would say I'm doing okay. Yes, thank you for asking. There is another video I posted where I had follow-up questions on top of those, and I'm going to look into the comment section of that as well. 2 questions as well from James Nunez. These are like separate questions on the other video. Will you ever release any more new original music? Yes, I will. It's just extremely hard sometimes because I write my songs through Noteflight, which is a sheet music software where you can create your own stuff. I usually write a piano version of the song I'm trying to write, and because the only thing I can do right now is play and practice the piano version and upload that as the instrumental, I don't want to limit myself to just that, so I try to find other people who can create an instrumental track in the genre I want, and that is really difficult sometimes because first time I tried with someone, he made it so EDM that I was just like, ugh. And I didn't even realize he made it in EDM. It's really hard to find people who know how to step outside of their specific genre that they get so good at into other genres and fulfill my vision the way I want it to happen. It's really difficult because most people really do like one specific genre. Then they get used to that and they don't develop any musical versatility like I do. Like, this is how I would think as a producer. I think music is all the same. I know the general elements that are involved in one genre or another, so I try to incorporate that, but I also think of music from a universal perspective rather than getting so attached and invested in one genre that it's almost like you're awful at any other genre. Like, if you are good at a few genres, that's great, but at the same time, you gotta also be able to understand and know how to make stuff from other genres as well. And that's what I haven't found the right producer for. So, yes, I want to post more original music, and I have quite a list of original music that I still need to post, but that's why I haven't posted any more yet. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? That's quite a loaded question. I'll say it in a career way, and then I'll also say it in a personal way. First off, there are 3 main things I would have loved to have had some experience in by that point. First off, I wish I would have already had my degree by that point, finished my first year of college, and it's going to take me, ironically, 3 to 3.5 years to earn my 2-year degree. And it's mainly because that's a lot of credits I have to deal with just to get one degree. This degree I'm trying to earn is music education, where I am certified to teach singing and piano. Piano is a little iffy for me, so I'm not going to be promoting that until I envision myself having that degree earned already by then. I've already finished up my first year, so if it is going to take me 3.5 years, I only have 2.5 left to go, so in half the time. Next, I would have loved to have a lot of gig experience, like getting myself out there and performing. Performing is difficult if you don't have opportunities around your corner, but I'm not going to do that until I have this YouTube thing off the ground a little bit. And when I say YouTube thing, I really mean Patreon. And I would like to say something. I'm no longer going to be prioritizing making reaction videos. I'm going to be doing them some continually, but I'm not going to be doing it as strategically. Well, I'm still going to be doing it strategically, but I'm not going to be doing it with the intention of trying to draw those kinds of people in to support me because they only support the people I'm reacting to. That's just how it works. Instead, I'm going to be advertising my best covers to show who I am and what my singing voice is like. That way they can be like, oh, I'll subscribe. Oh, you have a Patreon? Let me support you there. And how I would draw people in to my Patreon is by advertising the fact that they could get a free download of every single cover for only $2 a month, I believe. It's either the $2, yeah, it is the $2 a month deal. I'm going to be advertising my Patreon through that, and in that way, there's no other strategy that can work for me that I can provide other than that. So that's my shift in strategy, and within hopefully 6 to 18 months, I would have earned $5,000 a month from Patreon. A lot can happen within 5 years, so I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm hoping I can at least have that kind of money by then. And I do think it is a good goal by then. But in general, I'm trying to get my Patreon off the ground before I worry about the gigs, because it's just like one big project at a time. That's career. Now let's talk about personal. First off, I would have hoped I'd gain muscle mass and better proportions between my upper body and my lower body. Basically, I'm really skinny, but not naturally so. I would have tried to get in shape more, have more muscles everywhere, and just overall be healthier, exercise, and diet-wise, I'm pretty healthy with diet anyways. I get lean cuisine meals all the time from Walmart. All of it's delicious. I wouldn't eat it if it didn't taste good. That's how my diet is right now, and I'm hoping that... Oh, here's another thing. I would be able to afford factor meals. Other than diet and exercise, I feel like I would also see myself moved out of my parents' house already. And on my own, living in a big, nice place. Nothing like a mansion or anything fancy like that, but definitely a house that is big, and definitely a house that allows me space to be my complete self, because this house is full of people right now, and it's very crowded, and it's difficult to deal with these people sometimes, and I can be myself around them, just there are rules and constrictions that I have to deal with because roommates are roommates, and I want to be out and about doing my own thing completely by 5 years. And that's all I have to say about it. Not because anything else is too personal. It's really difficult to have any thoughts right now. I'm way too sick. Are you a student or on faculty at FSU? First off, thank you for thinking that I'm smart enough to be a teacher on any college. Second, I don't go to FSU, I go to Seminole State College, SSC. I'm a student only, and I'm looking to earn an AA in music education. Next question. And this comes from Sonia Vela Valdeskin. Pardon me if I mispronounced that or butchered it. And I know it's in Spanish, but I'm just translating it first. She says, "You've been studying music for years. I know because I've been seeing you for quite some time. How do you know when you're ready to sing in front of an audience? Or have you already done it, and what does it feel like?" A very good question. I'm glad that you asked me a vocal question, because I do like geeking out about stuff like that even when I'm tired. I would say you know you're ready to face an audience when you are able to overcome your fear of rejection or humiliation. Now, obviously, you don't want to be clueless or tone deaf and think you have a good voice when you really don't. But if you know for a fact that you have a good voice, and you know that you've practiced it and it sounds good and everyone supports you and thinks the same way, not just saying it to be polite, then you're ready. But only if you jump over that fear. So if you are authentically a good singer, and if you know how to perform, and you can jump over your fear of getting rejected or humiliated, then you are ready. I have already done it, yes, and it feels very much like overwhelming nerves, but the kind of nerves that you live for. I haven't had much performance experience myself, but I can safely say from the experience I have had, when you get done with your performance, the only thing you can think of is I can't wait to do that again and overcome my nerves. so that I can feel the energy and vibes of everyone who decided to applaud me. Like, it really is that amazing. Okay, so this is one final question, the actual last question of this video. Basically, my aunt asked me a question because I asked if she could participate in this. And one thing that she asked through text instead of the comment section is if there's a way to switch between chest voice and head voice. I will break that down momentarily, but first I'm going to say if you comment with judgment against that, I will come at you like a lion. I will delete you from my channel. I don't care who you are. Do not talk poorly about my family. Anyways, with that out of the way, let's talk about mixed voice, because that is the truest key if you want to be intentional about switching from chest voice to head voice or falsetto for men. First off, there is the overt flipping from one side to the other overtly. Then there is the smooth transition from one to the other and then back again. I will demonstrate the overt way, which is basically a vocal flip. If you do that intentionally, that can be used stylistically in a healthy way. If it's something your voice can do without any effort, then it's healthy. Basically, that is something that doesn't always have to sound bad. Like, singers often do that on purpose, so it is a good skill to have if you want to sing along with your favorite contemporary artists. But then there's also the smooth transition between the two, and though it's not used as stylistically as the overt flip over, I do think that it is important to know how to do it because it will help to smoothen your breakout and not have you have as many vocal flips if that's your problem. And I'm not answering this specifically to you, my dear aunt. I am just answering your question as a general vocal lecture. Because I just like to do it that way, I don't know why. So, I'm going to show you what it's like to go from chest voice to mixed voice at first, and when I get high enough, I will show you chest voice to falsetto, and then back through that mixed voice. I'll even put labels showing when I've reached chest voice, mixed voice, or falsetto if it helps. You ready? Let's go. Next one. Man, I have a lot of gunk in my throat. Let's make making me sound like I'm cracking when I'm not. Just a double tone to the voice. One more. That wasn't great. Good grief. Hope that answered your questions, and now my voice just wanting to sound like this. And that's what it was, not voice crack or anything, just my voice feels like it's being affected the more I do it. I don't know why. Oh right, because I'm recovering from a sickness. Much better than I was earlier, but just, yeah, I hope that answered your question. Hope it helps. I hope you try to develop something like that if you want to have more control about your vocal registers. Thanks. Alright, I believe that concludes this Q&A because I didn't have anything else submitted for this. I hope you enjoyed. If you want to see more videos from me, make sure to subscribe and turn on post notifications. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.